Hello everyone and welcome to a new video on my channel. In this video, I will be covering introduction to networking layer. So we will look at what is networking layer and what are the important functions of networking layer. And also do not forget to check out my channel where I do post videos about computer networking, operating system, Linux. So you will find a lot of videos on these topics, and this video is itself a part of computer networking series that I have started on my channel. So you can also check out the computer networking playlist that contains a lot of videos on computer networking. So do check out that. I will paste the link of those in description and comments here. Let's first look at an overview of networking layer. So we have seen that transport layer helps in the process to process communication using sockets and ports. So we have seen that in previous videos. So if you have client and server, let's say this is the client and this is the server. And let's say you have process P1 running here on some port, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, let's say. And you have another process here, let's say call this P2 on this is on server, and it's running on port number 80. Then transport layer can help in like communication between these two processes. But for transport layer to make this communication successful, first this data has to go from like this client host to server host. So how that will happen? So that is done with the help of networking layer. So transport layer relies on network layer to transmit the data. Now, network layer is basically host to host communication using IP addresses. Transport layer is process to process communication between two different processes on like different hosts. But network layer is host to host communication. So how can this host communicate with this host, not between process? Network layer is present on each host and router in the network. This is a very, very important point. So network layer is present on all the hosts that you will see like in the network and also on routers. But if you see the application layer or transport layer, they are not present on the routers. They are only present on end host. Network layer tries its best to deliver the packet from source to destination. It's not guaranteed. So network layer will never guarantee that, okay, I will pass this like data from this client to this source. It will not guarantee that. It will make its best effort, but there will no guarantee. Like if you want a guarantee, then what you can do is you can use the TCP protocol of transport layer, and then you can use the network layer to deliver the packet. In that case, what will happen? TCP will take care that, okay, whatever data is there, it should be delivered to the destination. Internet protocol, or in short form, this is also called as IP. This is the most important protocol in the network layer. So most of the time in networking layer, we will be covering IP. Now let's look at what are the functions of networking layer. So the first function is forwarding the packets. So what do we mean by forwarding packets? So when a packet arrives at a router's input link, the router must move the packet to the appropriate output link. So you have the router actually, which so you will have one host here. Let's say this is the client, and finally you will have some server somewhere far away, very far away, let's say, right? And you will have a lot of in between. You will have a lot of routers in between. This will be routers, let's say RRR, okay? And these routers will have, let's say, input links and multiple output links will be there, and maybe multiple input links also will be there. Similarly, all routers will have that. We will discuss more about router in maybe a separate video. But what is networking layer will do is, so when let's say the client, right, from client, if let's say the packet first goes to this router, right, so then this router will then, there will be a networking layer in this router that will help in forwarding this packet maybe to the next router in the path. Maybe it will forward to this one or this one. That we will see that there are some algorithms for that we will see later. Another one is routing. So many times you will see that people will use forwarding and routing as same, like they will think both are same, but we will try to differentiate between them as they are a bit different. So forwarding packet is just like you forward it, right? So you receive, this router receives the packet at this input link and it forwards it to one of the output link. That's called forwarding. What is routing? Routing is networking layer decides which route or path will a packet take to reach the source to destination. And then you have routing algorithms that calculate these paths. So you have an overall path also here. Like let's say this is the path, let's say, right? This is the overall path. Then routing algorithms are there which actually calculate, okay? Like for example, this router, if it has received a packet from this client, then there are two routers here, right? This router, this router. Now to which router it will forward this packet, right? Then that depends on some routing algorithm. So there is routing algorithm which decides, okay, whether it should forward this packet to this router or whether it should forward this packet to this route. So again, I have mentioned the difference between forwarding and routing here, the same thing that I explained before. Now, every router has a forwarding table. A router looks at a particular header value in the networking layer of incoming packet and then indexes it in the table to find the outgoing link. So yeah, this line looks a bit complex, but if you see the example here, this example here, you can see that this is the forwarding table of a router, and you will have a mapping present here. So whenever a packet actually arrives at this router, so you have, let's say, a packet here, and this router will just look at the network layer, like what is there in network layer. It will look at a particular header in networking layer, like what is that. That will be some header we'll discuss later in routers. So it will look at that value. For example, if the value is, let's say, 0111, right? So it will see in this table, okay, for 0111, if the header value is 0111, the output link is 2, right? So it will forward it to link number 2 here. So basically this is called your forwarding table. So you have header value, and this header value will be present in this packet. And then you will see that, okay, what is the mapping for that? What is the output link that is mapped to that header value? And then it will forward the packet to that output link. Now, this is basically called forwarding. This router is forwarding from one input link to one of the output. And this is performed locally within the router. So this is a local action. If you see within the router itself, it is performed. Now, routing, what happens? Routing algorithm determine how the forwarding table will be created. So you have the forwarding table here, right? This mapping, but how is this mapping getting created, for example, right? That is done by the help of routing algorithm. So there are some routing algorithms where different routers will talk with each other, and they will then construct this forwarding table itself. Now let's look at the structure of network layer packet, or we also call network layer packets as datagrams. So the data that we have in network layer is also called as datagram, because network layer is not a connection oriented protocol. It's a connectionless protocol. And whenever we have connectionless protocol, we call it by datagram. So whatever data is there in that, we call it by datagram. So if you remember from UDP also, right? So that D stands for datagram in UDP. So if you see the datagram here, what are the important headers in this? So you have like, what is the version of like IP, right? It is IPv4 or IPv6. What is the length of the header here? Then what is the type of service? So we will look at definition of some of this in the next slide. Then you have datagram length, like what is the size of whole datagram itself. Then you have 16-bit identifier. So let's not touch that. You have flags, you have fragmentation offset. We will discuss that maybe later. This is one time to leave TTL that we will discuss. It is very important. What is the upper layer protocol? That is also very, very important. Then you have checksum is there. That was also there in TCP protocol, if you remember, in TCP segment and UDP also, we had this checksum. Then these two are again very, very important, 32-bit source IP and 32-bit destination IP address. These are very, very important. But let's look at some of the important headers that I have highlighted it here. So version is basically IPv4 or IPv6. We'll discuss that later in more details. What is the difference between now this type of service? Let's understand this. So you will have four important layers: application at first, then transport, then network, and then let's say link layer. Whatever protocol application layer is using, that will be stored in type of service. Then you have time to leave, or in short form, this is called TTL. This ensures that datagrams do not circulate forever. So you have a lot of routers in between. You have routers here. A lot of routers are there in network. What happens if this router goes here, this goes here, this goes here, and again this goes back to here? It may happen. I mean, sometimes it may happen that the packets or the datagrams will keep circulating in this network itself. Now, in order to prevent that, TTL is very useful. Then you also have protocol here. If you see upper layer protocol. So upper layer means, so what is the layer above network layer? It is transport layer. So what protocol transport layer is using? So it can either be, let's say, TCP, or it can either be UDP. So for TCP, the value will be 6 here in this protocol, or if it is UDP, the value will be 17. Now you have header checksum. This is to detect errors in datagrams. Then source IP address, destination IP, very, very important. What is the IP address of source host, and what is the IP address of destination host? Because these routers, if you see, right, they work on this value. What is the value of source IP and destination IP? That is very important for routers, for forwarding the data from like one router to another. And if you see networking layer in TCP IP protocol in more details, So you have like transport layer, TCP, UDP here. Of course, application layer I am not drawn here. Then you have a networking layer. If you see, like you have different components. You have routing protocols. So that helps in the path selection. So what should be the path that should be followed by the packet from source to destination? These router protocols helps in that. So RIP, OSPF, BGP, these are some of the protocols that helps in this selecting this path. Then of course you have the forwarding table. So this forwarding table in each router is constructed using these routing protocols. So multiple routers will communicate with each other and they will follow some routing protocol, and then they will create a forwarding table. And of course, IP protocol is the most important protocol in networking layer. This will help in the addressing like source IP, destination IP, and we have already seen at a datagram format, and also how to handle packets. Another protocol that is popular in networking layer is ICMP protocol. We will look at that later. This helps in error reporting in network layer. Of course, in the later videos, we will look at how router works, how IP addresses works, how subnet works, right? What is ICMP protocol? We will look all of those in further videos. Thank you.